I'm Melissa Chandler, and welcome to After the Unthinkable, a podcast about what it's like to survive the things you think you can't survive and how to move forward one step at a time. I want to say something out loud today that I do not think enough people are willing to say. Some days I want to quit, not in a dramatic way, not in a way that needs anyone to worry about, but in a bone deep, exhausted way where I look at everything in front of me and think, I do not know if I can keep doing this. Some days I want to lay down and just stop. And I am saying that on a podcast about keeping going because I think the people who tell you to keep going without ever admitting how hard it is are not telling you the truth. Here is what nobody tells you about surviving something devastating. The hard part is not just the loss. The hard part is the endless questioning that comes after it. Am I doing the right thing? Is any of the things I'm doing even working? Does it matter? Am I making a difference or am I just spinning my wheels? Should I be doing more? Should I be doing less? Should I just stop? I lie awake sometimes and try to make sense of everything that has happened, and it does not make sense. And I think the truth is that it never will. There is absolutely no story I can tell myself that makes what happened to my family make sense. And when you cannot make sense of something, when you cannot understand it, when you can't fix it, sometimes part of you just wants to stop trying, to be honest. And that's where I go on the hard days. And I think a lot of you probably go there too. So why do I keep going? Not because I have some endless well of strength. I most certainly do not. I regularly run out. Not because I'm inspired every day. I'm not. Some days I'm running on fumes and stubbornness. Thank goodness I'm stubborn. But I keep going for a very simple and very unglamorous reason. Because my kids need me. And because my family cannot speak for themselves anymore. Because somewhere out there is a family who just lost someone and is about to walk into the same silence that we walked into. And if I quit, nobody will be there to tell them what is coming. That's it. That's the whole reason. It's not inspiration, a sense of obligation, a sense of responsibility in the best sense of that word. You know, it is love. It is refusing to let the worst thing that happened to us be the last word. I want to give you something practical because that is what this podcast is for. On the days when I want to quit, here's what I actually do. I don't try to fix my whole life. I do not try to feel better. I do not try to talk myself out of the feeling because feelings are just feelings. I just do the next few minutes and then I let myself rest. I mean, really rest, not productive rest, not a rest after I finish this, actual rest. Lying down, wrapped in my blanket, letting the day be over, even if it's only 2 p.m. And then the next morning, I get up and I try again. It's not inspiring, but it's true. And it works for me. So if you're having one of those days right now where quitting feels like the only reasonable option, I want you to hear this from someone who has been there more times than she can count. You do not have to feel strong to keep going. You just have to keep going. You do not have to make sense of it. It may never make sense. You do not have to have a good reason. You just have to have one reason, any reason, whatever gets you through today. Wanting to quit does not mean you're failing. It means you are human and you are carrying something enormous. So rest today if you need to. And then tomorrow, just do what you can do. Just a few minutes, 10 or 15 minutes. That is all any of us can do, is just the best that we can do. So as always, I do like to talk about things that need to change for survivors of violent crime. Because survivors of violent crime experience prolonged, unresolved trauma that traditional grief support is just really not designed to address. When a case drags on for years, survivors are living inside an open wound that never gets a chance to close. Mental health support for these families really needs to be ongoing, long-term, and free, not 6 sessions and a pamphlet. Real sustained support for as long as the case takes and for as long after that as they need, because the toll of waiting is enormous. And right now, nobody is paying for it except the families. If today is a quitting day, rest and then come back tomorrow. I will be right here. Thank you so much for listening to After the Unthinkable. I will be back soon with another episode. But until then, keep going. You are stronger than you think.